to tell you, I'll give you an update on the Choco Taco scandal. Klondike has now decided to drop Choco Tacos, and they won't make them anymore. I think this is due to their racism against those people that come across the border or who like tacos. But they're not going to make them. And yesterday I was pretty upset. Stu was too. And
I am still very upset about this development.
I luckily have a crack investigative team. In this case, well, it was me. But I get to the hard-hitting facts here. I want you to know, Choco Taco, not made by Klondike. Choco Taco is a Unilever product. Okay.
Well, but Klondike is owned by
Unilever.
Unilever. So, yes, it actually is still made by Klondike.
Okay, if you want to play these word games, I'm sorry. Inflation is starts with 2 quarters of decline of our GDP. That's what it is, Stu. That's what it is. You want to change the language? Go ahead. Anyway, evil Unilever. You're never going to want a Choco Taco again. Let me give you some headlines from Bloomberg. Unilever CEO sees Biden victory as a positive for climate change, and plans to detail the carbon footprint of all of its products, including Choco Tacos. Next headline. Meet the next George Soros. Unilever's Paul Pullman uses corporate weight to push progressive causes and globalism. Next headline. Food and consumer goods giant Unilever suspends all imports and exports of products to Russia, including Choco Taco. Next headline, top 10 contributors to the Clinton campaign. The CEO and the guy who started Unilever. That's right. That's right. He is also an advocate for the two-state solution. Next headline, UN climate conference sponsor Unilever is among the world's biggest plastic polluters. That's right. I think part of Choco Taco is made of plastic. Sure. And Unilever continues to work in Iran while targeting Facebook for divisiveness. That's all funded. All of that hate funded by you desiring and buying a Choco Taco. I say I'm glad they're dead.
Glenn, if Unilever directly and intentionally released the monkeypox virus, I would still buy Choco Tacos.
Yeah, so I'm not saying boycott them.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm just saying they're dead to me, but I can't live without a Choco Taco. All right. The next one, I would like to talk to you and Pat about the U.S. Mega Millions. Nobody won, and now the jackpot is just over $1 billion. And I just would like to talk about the scam element of the lotto. And that is, I think it says everything we need to know about the American people. No one takes the $1 billion. They always take the cash payout.
Which is a scam in and of itself. That they advertise it as $1 billion, and then there's a whole different number for what people actually get.
It's a lot lower.
A lot lower. This one is 602.5. 602.5 million. So
it's
40%.
So you are leaving $400 million on the table. I think this says that the American people are saying two things. I don't think the state's going to be able to be around that long. 30 years? No way. They're never. I'm only going to get less than half of it, so I might as well take less than half now and just enjoy myself. The other thing it says is possibly, and Stu brought this up, inflation. Our belief in inflation.
But maybe the belief that this inflation, not all that transitory, because, they're thinking themselves like, oh, that payment we're giving these people at 30 years. I mean, it's going to be worth nothing. It's going to be like $12 we're paying them at the end of this time. At the end of this time. It's going to say $6 million, but that $6 million payment is going to be worth about 15 cents to the average American today. So people are like, I know what happens here. I know you're printing money constantly. So why wouldn't I take all the money now and at least try to get some interest and investment off of it? I think that's really the calculation a lot of people are making.
But, you would think that with all of because is there a lotto winner that has not destroyed themselves?
No.
Somebody who's won the lotto and is like, I'm going to buy up a really fancy trailer now. And they just blow all their money on hookers and trailers, I think. And a nice car. I'm going to get a Ford Explorer. Mm-hmm. And so they blow it on really fancy cars like that. And before you know, they're broke. Is there no one who has had the common sense to say, I don't think I could manage that much money, so I'll take it a year at a time. So for 30 years, I never have to worry about money. There's nobody that says that?
I think some do. I don't think it's everybody takes the cash payment, but the overwhelming majority of people do. And I think, a financial advisor would say, well, you can take all this money, you could throw it in investments, you can make 5-10% a year, and it's going to be worth a lot more than this long-term payout.
Will it be worth 40% more?
Well, these are people who are trying to get you to manage their money, like your money. So they're like, of course, we'll get 10% every year. It'd be worth a lot more. I would be skeptical of that. I would also be terrified of having that much money at one given time. I honestly wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. Honestly, it would take research for me to even figure out what I should actually do with that much money. I mean, you're only protected for $250,000 per account, right, in the bank. So you're going to have to do all sorts of stuff to protect that money. You'd think, you're right, Glenn, like getting a check. I think it starts with, I was just reading this. I think it starts, the first check comes in at like $1 million. And then it escalates each year. I think maybe it starts at 1.5 million and escalates each year. And by the end, it's over 6 million, like in your 30 years. So
see, so it'll keep up with inflation.
I mean, that's what they're saying, right? I mean, do you believe that? I certainly don't.
I just don't believe a 30-year payout from any government entity is ever going to be paid out to your advantage.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a pension, do you believe that you're going to be getting all that money? I mean, I think a lot of people don't. That are in that position.
So do you pay when they take out the $400 million out of this billion, you still have to pay taxes on the $600 million. So you're probably only getting that's really only $300 million.
Yeah. And that's.
How do you make ends meet on that?
Well, and this is the problem, though. What you just did is the problem. This is how they get away with it, right? Like, and the initial payout for the full option is $602.5 million. And everyone says, well, I mean, I know they said they were going to give me $1 billion, but I'm only getting $600 million. What am I going to do? Complain about $600 million? And then you pay taxes, much of it going back to the same source you supposedly won the money from.
Yeah. Then you're down to about 350 million.
350 million. And then you say, well, I'm still getting $350 million. That's a lot of money. And that's true. However, they've scammed you now.
70% is
almost
gone.
70% of the money they were supposedly giving you.
Yeah.
I mean,
can you imagine?
It is a scam.
Can you imagine having any other product being able to get away with that kind of scam, where 70% of what they said they were going to give to you is gone?
They'd be dragged into false advertising court. Like, think of like some shady, supplement that makes big claims about, healing your diseases or whatever. Even when they don't even directly say it, like it'll be like, well, take this and it'll help X, Y, and Z, and you'll solve all these big health problems. People have been stopped from from producing products for the rest of their lives because they go onto shady cable channels and run advertisements.
You don't even have to be shady, Stu. You've got 60-second ads where they are forced to say you might die from this erection.
Right.
I mean,
it's true. Wow. All of this, and they don't have to say any of it. They just say, "Yeah, it's $1 billion. It's pretty exciting." And then in very small print underneath, it says, "Actually, it's only $600 million." And then you pay taxes, and you're down to $300 million. Plus, of course, every time if you just let that money sit in the bank, and it gets your 0.1% interest you might be getting, when that money comes in, you're gonna have to pay taxes on that too.
Again.
And then when you spend the money, you're going to have to get taxed. When you buy that yacht, you're going to have to get another sales tax on top of it.
Here's something that drives me out of my mind. My house tax and my property tax. Mm-hmm. I never really own my property. Ever.
Nope.
Ever. I mean, I could pay my property off, but I don't really own it. And if I don't pay my income tax, I lose my house. That's a total
scam.
That's bigger than the lotto.
And then on top of that, when you die, now they're going to stick you with another tax.
Yes!
Because you died, we're going to take half of everything you accumulated when you were alive. It's so immoral and wrong. I don't know how we've allowed them to get away with it.
No, and all it does is keep the people who have vast sums of money. It keeps them in power and wealth because they're never going to. It's no retro. You're grandfathered in. If your grandfather was Nelson Rockefeller, you don't worry about it. You've got money for the rest of your life and your children and your children's children's lives. But we've got to stop these people from being able to gather money and do this. Do exactly what we've done for generations now.